Hi, MC Solaris here, paranormal romance author of the Orion's Order series. And welcome to Solaris's Summer of Love. Today I'm really excited to talk about love, specifically romance novels as an aphrodisiac. When I was studying to be a love and relationship and intimacy coach, one of the things that I learned was that I wasn't the only woman who felt turned off all the time. Now, what I'm about to share isn't some do this one thing and bring your sex drive back forever kind of thing. And P.S., I'd be wary of those blanket kind of claims like that too. But what I am going to share is one thing that truly impacted my life in so many ways: romance novels. Believe it or not, the first romance novel I ever read was because during this love and relationship and intimacy training I was doing, it suggested that romance novels could be used as a tool for women and men to help with their sex drive and turn on. And honestly, romance novels can help with so many things like self-discovery, exploration, boundaries, fantasies, etc. There was a lot more to this training, and the reasoning behind why romance novels specifically, and how it most of the time ties back to women, like how women are very sensual and connected and emotional beings, and P.S., that's actually one of our superpowers as feminine creatures. Anyway, because of this, the feminine tend to connect with romance novels. It gives us a backstory, a chance to know the characters and the love interest, allows us to form our own opinions and relationships with the characters, including if we trust them, and hell, even if we love them. And these are such important things in a relationship and important for the feminine and women and men, of course, but for the purpose of this video, I'm speaking specifically to the feminine. So overall, my point is this: there's many reasons what could be contributing to your perma turnoff. Emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, biochemically, like hormones. But one powerful tool that may help are romance novels. Now, there's so many romance books out there in the world, which is beautiful and amazing because it gives you a chance to test and taste the different kinds of flavors that are out there and find what resonates with you. And we are also ever fluid and dynamic creatures. So what may resonate with you this week may not the next week. And that's perfectly okay and wonderful and human. I can't remember exactly how I ended up deciding on which romance novel I first would read, but I'm sure it was because I was Googling or doing some internet search of romance novels, and that involved my personal favorite elements: paranormal and fantasy. Also, I found I tend to love stories with, well, a lot of story to them. I love to get to know the characters intimately and deeply and be in their head and know what they're thinking and feeling and doing. But that's just me. Some people don't prefer that. Again, it's perfectly okay. In fact, it's more than okay, and I applaud that because that means you know something deeper about yourself. And that's powerful. So, romance novels, a great tool for love and relationships and self-discovery and exploration and turn on. If this resonates with you and you feel called, then I invite you to dive into the first book in the Orion's Order series, my paranormal romance series, titled Calypso's Heart. It has sexy shifters, hot vampires, and intriguing immortals, and lots of story and steam. And to that point, stay tuned because I'll also share a clip from the audiobook of Calypso's Heart, which was narrated by the amazing and talented Jarman Day. And P.S., I love his voice for the series so much, and the characters and the way he brings them to life. And so I hope you enjoy this glimpse into the world and the characters.
Blake walked over to Callie, who was still playing dishwasher at the kitchen sink. His body was just inches away from pressing up close behind her when he reached around either side of her body to place the dishes in the warm and soapy sink. With his hands tangled with hers in the sudsy water, he pressed in close to her backside and kissed her neck. He didn't care if anyone saw. Hell, it was good if they did see because he was publicly claiming her, as if it wasn't clear enough already. "I like how you look in my clothes," he whispered in her ear. God, she suddenly remembered that she was the My Doll period model. Hot. And it was literally starting to get hot with him behind her and all close like that. "Thank you for the coffee and muffin this morning. It honestly was the most thoughtful thing anyone has ever done for me, and I cried. Really thoughtful." "My pleasure," he said in a low voice only meant for her. She shuddered at the vibrations coming from his chest. It felt as if she was pressed up to a bass speaker. The source of vibrating heat at her back dissipated when Blake rolled away and leaned against the counter in a smooth motion. As if he didn't just tease her, he casually continued the conversation. "I intended to have Felix stay in the room with you when you woke, but he was hell-bent on following me around." Damn if that wasn't the icing on the cake to her already melting heart. Speaking of which, where is Felix? She wondered. As if he read her mind, he gestured with his head to where the twins were sprawled out in the massive couches. And yeah, Felix was there curled up on Riker's chest. It was a catnap triad. See? Callie thought with a smile. She knew Riker was a big ol' softy under that bad boy facade. "Who usually cleans up around here?" she asked, placing another dish in the dishwasher. "The general rule is clean up after yourself, and well, we haven't all sat down and had a meal together like that in..." He paused in thought. "Ever." "Ever?" Callie said with brows popped. "Sure, sometimes we eat at the same time, but it's more like someone will grab something quick, like a bowl of cereal or a muffin, or we'll just order pizza like last night. Usually the only ones cooking meals are the twins, and they tag team and have their own system down. And yeah, the twins do the shopping and everyone just pitches in for groceries. Once we tried to take turns in the shopping task, but that turned out into a brawl when the bacon was forgotten." She laughed as he helped her load the last couple of dishes. "By the way, breakfast was good. Thank you." He kissed her on the cheek and she blushed. As if he liked her reaction, he turned her chin toward him with the crook of his finger and kissed her. It was slow, as if savoring his favorite dessert. He wanted to take her right there. He imagined lifting her to the edge of the counter, settling between her thighs, slipping his hoodie over her head, leaning down to taste. "Later," he commanded his mind to cut off the fantasy. But that didn't mean he couldn't deepen the kiss. When his tongue slid in to dance with hers, a wolf whistle sounded from the twins' direction. Blake sent them the middle finger while his attention remained on Callie. He playfully nipped at her lower lip, and the corners of his lips turned up in a closed-lipped smile. He took a step back, leaving some space between them. "Come on, I'll show you around the rest of the house." He tried to sound casual, as if that kiss did not just make him want to only show her his bedroom.